know what to do with the extra ones. I put it on my butt. So was I expecting anything magical? Not really, but it was kind of like, if it helps with firming.
One butt cheek look better than the other?
I mean... Yeah.
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome to the Chemist Confessions podcast. I'm Victoria.
And I'm Gloria.
And this is a human conversation on all the skincare we talk about on the daily. And today we are talking about more acne stuff.
Ooh, I don't think this is a topic we'll ever run out of things to talk about.
Truth.
A lot of science, but also a lot of questionable products on the market for it.
For sure. Today, we actually want to do a Decode focus on some of the trendier acne products out there in preparation for our next episode that is about post-acne care, actually acne scarring care. But before we get into all of that, let's do a little bit of a brand update because we have a few things we should talk about.
Yes. We can't believe we are already in November and this year is yet again crashing to an end. So
Crashing.
Yeah, crashing hard. And I would like compliments from everyone.
Compliment us.
We actually stuck with the weekly schedule.
Did.
Holy crap.
Yes, we did.
Even though we made that promise, I thought it was a very empty promise.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. We've been running this podcast for about 3-4 years now.
About. And I think the production volume has been very whimsical at best.
For those of you that still have hung around since the beginning, y'all are amazing. But y'all know that the calendar was maybe not so consistent, but this year we really did it. Actually, I really liked how this shaped up, to be honest.
Yeah, I think when we first started, we're like, oh yeah, this is a bi-weekly.
Yeah.
And then every episode will come out. Especially, I think last year was especially bad.
Yeah.
We'll come up with an episode, we're like, hey guys,
It's
sorry.
been 3 months.
It's us.
Yeah. So, and we reminisce about all of this because we are actually at the tail end of this season's podcast. We actually only have 2 more episodes left. And then Gloria and I are going to take a break. A much needed holiday break.
Yes.
And the last 2 episodes will be focused on skincare gifting. So we'll be going through kits, maybe some things that Gloria and I would like to gift ourselves, maybe don't want to be gifted. To give you guys some ideas, and then the final episode will just be kind of a 2023 recap.
Yep, we'll be going over some of our favorite segments, maybe interesting papers we talked about this year, and our favorite animals of the year.
And the fun fact animal award goes to so other than that, we should hint a little bit at some of the holiday kits coming.
This has become tradition for our brand, is to put together special kits every year at a nice sweet discount.
Sweet. Sweet.
Yep. And every year the kits are a little different. We kind of put it together partially based on what we think is a helpful routine. We also put together based on you guys' feedback. Some of our top sellers come together in a kit. And and let's look forward to that. And we might have special gifts that come with the kits this year.
Yeah. So that's that. That's it for the brand news. For those of you that have been curious about our line, definitely please remember to use your podcast only promo code podcastship. This will give you free shipping on your order, also includes expedited shipping, and is stackable.
Yep. So, and if you haven't subscribed on our website yet, please do so. You'll be the first to know about our holiday kits when they're ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. All right. With that, let's get into the news.
In the news, hit me. What's going on?
All right. Shiseido. Shiseido has hinted at launching a new beauty wellness brand.
Ooh.
There's no really concrete details except that they are teaming up with a Japanese medicine manufacturer called Tumura, which specializes in herbal medicine and body-mind connection. I don't know what that means.
Oh.
But I also like this part. They're also teaming up with tomato-based food company Kagome, which is very, very famous for a lot of their seasonings and, yes, tomato-based products. And I think they even have snacks and whatnot. Yeah. They say Kagome will contribute its research into the health benefits of vegetables and fruits.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. So they have mentioned that this brand is planned to launch in February of 2024. This is obviously more about focusing on bringing out the, focusing on, your inner health and its contribution to our beauty. And they really want to be able to showcase kind of the Japanese kind of traditional medicine and practices and being able to bring that aspect into J-beauty.
So it sounds like it will be a global launch.
It looks like they're going to focus on Asia market first, including China, and then they'll broaden it from there.
I kind of like that because I know in the States, I think beauty within is a relatively new trend, like supplements and whatnot.
For sure.
But in terms of like edible wellness stuff, that's been a thing in Asia for the longest time. Like they have drinks that's supposed to boost collagen production. They have drinks for period cramps. They have like all sorts of stuff.
Yes.
So I think they're definitely very qualified to come out with something in this arena.
For sure. Also, very curious what what they will learn.
I hope they make it delicious. It sounds very umami.
Exactly. All right. The next thing is, remember how we talked about like razor collabs?
Yes.
And we did the
razor collabs with razor.
Razor and razor. All right, we have another razor collab.
Is that a new frontier?
I don't know. But I know it's something Gloria really cares about.
I deeply, passionately.
Anyway, so Harry's also has a collab that's going on. They're actually doing like a very fun like Harry's Motel pop-up. Just wanted to share that honestly, that's it. It's a Western theme one. And what is mildly interesting is their Western theme kit is $125 for a four-piece kit with on top of a razor. Yeah.
I don't know who they think is going to motels, but it's probably not a lot of people that spend $100 and some odd on a four-piece kit.
It's provocative, Gloria. Look at this picture.
And the razor is gold.
Yeah. So anyways, that's it. It's just another, like, they're all about doing these like fun collabs right now. So this market is, I was thinking about how, like, you know how Razor collab was targeting towards gamers. This is clearly targeting towards the Brooklyn hipster. Oh, so they're just like finding their niche of male right now.
Though I kind of like the promo picture. It's like, it's in a bathroom that's a little retro vibe. And it's got the pastel green tiles and a pink sink. So I also find the aesthetics to be, if you didn't give me any context and you just give me this picture, I would actually think it's targeted towards women, but going for a gender neutral kit, but the layout is like a little feminine. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. So anyways, if you are in New York, you might see that going on. But yeah, another random razor collab. All right.
It's a thing this year.
Cool. All right. Remember how we did our celebrity bingo cards?
Yes.
All right. So the next piece of news is actually about the death of some of these brands.
Already?
And Jared Leto's 29 Palms has officially died.
Oh
no.
Wait, that wasn't good. Oh no.
Yep.
We talked about this brand, right?
Yes,
before?
we did.
Yeah.
So this brand has actually, I think we talked about a year ago when it first came out. Yeah, it's only been a year and it's officially closed. Some drama going on. I don't know.
Should have gone with 31 palms. You're just 2 palms short away from success.
Yeah, and what I did find interesting is one of the other brands that has closed is also Kristen Bell's brand. It's called Happy Dance, and that brand has actually only been around for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So for those of you who have been feeling like all these celebrity brands keep popping up, yeah, they also die too. It's not, I mean, even in the celebrity game, it's not always easy to really like make stake your claim.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think I'll be honest, when I saw this, I didn't even saw Jared Leto's piece. I saw Kristen Bell piece. And I was like, oh, okay, in a way it makes sense because I think her line was very focused on CBD. And that trend has just fallen off a really hard cliff. So in a way, it's like it's just one of the victims of CBD skincare in general.
Totally.
But the Jared Leto, when I saw that, my first thought was like, what was their concept? Like, I could not tell you what it was about.
It was the essence of Jared Leto.
Yeah.
One sweat drop goes into every jar.
Sexy. Yeah. So unfortunately, we can't get bottled Jared Leto sweat anymore.
No. Oh no. All right. And finally, it does seem like a lot of these beauty conglomerates are doing a little bit of a cleanup. Unilever has announced that they are planning to auction off some of their personal care brands. That includes Timothée.
Who is
I actually
Timothée?
don't know how to say this brand, but it's... Here, I'll show you. Timothée.
Oh, it's a drugstore hair brand?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so it includes brands Timothée, Impulse, which is kind of like a aerosol body spray kind of brand, and then St. Ives, which I was like,
St. Ives, end of an era.
Oh no.
And we just talked about the apricot scrub.
We gotta stop talking about these brands.
We got the cursed touch. We talked about the palms. We talked about St. Ives. Oh no.
Yeah, so anyways, that's generally interesting.
I thought St. Ives was trying to have a revival.
They tried.
Oh.
But now it's time to auction, I guess.
I mean, so odds are these brands most likely will still survive.
For
They'll
sure.
just be under different directives.
Yes.
It seems interesting that Unilever is deciding to move away from them though, because especially St. Ives, I would have thought is still
iconic.
Yeah.
But then I think about it, I'm like, what other St. Ives thing
have I ever used?
have I ever even encountered?
Well, well. Oh, by the way, because we looked at St. Ives under the microscope, I have that jar sitting at home now.
Yeah.
My husband saw it, was like, oh my God, you got St. Ives for me? You love me so much. I miss this. He was legit, not ironically. He was like, oh my God, I used to use this all the time. I miss this scrub. I was like, oh.
I think for me, the smell is very like iconic, right? Yeah.
But he literally said it's like between this one and I think the Neutrogena. I think they have a pink bottle.
The grapefruit one.
Yeah. Same thing. He said, it makes me smell very pretty and I like it. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So
it feels like an end of an era of some sort.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like Gloria said, she's absolutely right. None of these brands are going to be going anywhere. It's just a matter of exchanging hands and possibly getting an update is usually what happens to these brands.
Yes. Maybe a facelift, maybe a new formula, something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. All right. So that's really it for the news. We are going to move straight into the acne decodes because there's a lot we want to talk about. The goal here is really kind of to talk about like what's recently trending in the acne space and hopefully be able to provide, I don't know, our chemist perspective on like how we would maybe use these products or what we can expect from these products. So probably one of the ones we absolutely have to talk about is the hypochlorous acid sprays that are out there, like Tower 28's SOS spray. It's everywhere. It's trending. It's on everybody's social media. It's touted as like the craziest miracle workers of every single skin condition out there. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these things are pretty straightforward. You'll see, other than Tower 28, I think a lot of people also buy them on Amazon. It's usually just water, sodium chloride, and hypochlorous acid.
Yeah.
What it boils down to is it's an antimicrobial. It's mildly disinfectant. If you use like a much higher concentration of hypochlorous acid, you can use it to clean surfaces and stuff like that. Your body does naturally produce some level of hypochlorous acid as well. And it has been looked at for maybe inflammation help. It has a big reputation now because of social media, but sadly to us, it's like, it can be worth trying. It probably won't be, well, I shouldn't say probably, 99% most likely would not be your one and done, like one step miracle, which leads us to really wild claims in this category.
Yeah, so we'll show a picture of one claim here by probably one of the bigger well-known brands called Magic Molecule. And as you can see, they say that this product can replace your facial mist, your aloe vera, your bug bite relief, your toner, your antibiotic pain relief ointment, your acne treatment, and your eczema treatment. And there's a lot of
red flag.
Like, FDA, hello, like maybe don't listen to this. I don't know.
Or
listen to the part. Like, I don't know. This is kind of crazy.
Get them. I think I'm like very offended for actually like because they touch on a lot of categories that are regulated like drugs. Like eczema is OTC, acne is OTC, bug sprays are OTC. It's just like all these things are basically making
antibiotic pain relief really gets me, like even more than eczema.
These things are actually regulated. And the way they do the graphic is really shady. It's like very obviously trying to get around claims. They're basically claiming medical benefits without saying any of these things. I'm like, that's really, really crappy.
Exactly. So the goal here is to know that, yes, it could be a helpful addition to your acne routine or even possibly for, mitigating some form of irritation. However, if you do see like claims like this, please don't be swayed. This is by no means supposed to be replacing any of these, especially for people like I think about eczema treatments who are getting prescription topicals. Like this is not the answer and this is not the way to communicate this correctly.
I get really, really terrible, nasty reactions to bug bites. Victoria has seen me turn into golf ball, like little chunks from just like one mosquito bite.
Yes.
I find this to be very offensive. And I can tell you, it does not help my bug bites.
Yes, exactly. Some other things to keep in mind when you are shopping for these is just do pay attention to shelf life. These are not always the most stable formulas. These should not come with any other ingredients aside from the hypochlorous acid. And if they disclose a pH, that's perfect. So there's just, it is not the most stable of formulation. So that's probably the only thing we would recommend. And this may have a potential to oxidize, so it should come in an opaque packaging. Yeah. All right. So that's that for hypochlorous acid sprays. Next up, we should talk about microneedle patches.
Oh, I feel like they, I think about at this point, maybe 10 years ago, they really tried to make this happen. And at the time, it was like, oh, that's cool, but it wasn't that trendy. But right now, it feels like it's all the rage again.
You know, it's kind of the beauty of social media and TikTok is like, and really clever marketing.
It's true.
You make it stickerify, you normalize it, you make it fun, and then people are like, totally cool.
Sign me up.
Totally cool to see stickers on your face. Yeah. So, but I think the question is always, how helpful are these? So let's first talk about the bare minimum, which is these are going to be your hydrocolloid patches. And what hydrocolloid patches do is simply absorb liquid. So that's why you get that very satisfying look when you peel off the sticker to see that kind of like white stuff and you feel like it's absorbing all the pus and whatnot. Yeah.
It's like you can physically see your acne deflate.
Yes. And nothing speaks more to acne people than instant gratification. Yeah. So found a couple studies. We will go over them. The first one is actually simply about hydrocolloid acne dressing. So these are just the material itself. This does not involve any sort of microneedle aspect. We'll go into that in part 2. So we found a small clinical that looked at a hydrocolloid acne dressing versus just a normal skin tape. Test is small, subject size of 20. And they basically applied this dressing on for 1 week. And the other thing to keep in mind is that I believe this study, they only apply this patch every 2 days.
Oh,
so
it's not every day.
Yeah. So they did see that both groups, even the one with the just regular skincare tape, did show a decrease from baseline of overall severity of their acne. However, there was a statistically significant greater reduction for the hydrocolloid patch after 3 days to 7 days. So it does take a couple days to see that improvement. And they did find that even over these third day, 5th day, and 7th day, that the hydrocolloid patch had significantly greater improvement in redness, oiliness, dark pigmentation, and sebum level. So it's basically saying that it can be helpful, especially in the healing process.
Yeah, I think that's so important to know. And a lot of times when we talk about next episode, I'll be about post acne care, and a big chunk of it is in the prevention process. If you help it heal better to begin with, there's a lot less you got to deal with on the other side of it.
Totally. Yeah, really important reminder. So that's just the hydrocolloid patch, right? Now, if you go through and you start trying to find your perfect patch, you'll see them tout things about microneedle. And if you're wondering what that is, it usually means that these stickers have these micro prongs that might be able to deliver loaded ingredients. So and eventually they're very shallow, but the idea is that you would get a more targeted treatment. So how helpful is that portion? Well, I found a study. There's not many. There's not many, but I found one study that might be able to paint us a picture. So in this study, they have 30 individuals that use this acne microneedle patch daily for 28 days.
I feel like 28 is pretty long for
very
acne.
Long, very long. And I guarantee you, I'll be honest, I don't think most people are applying a sticker on every day for that long.
28 days is a lot.
Yeah. The one catch is they only apply it for 90 minutes a day. Whereas like a lot of times I feel like if you're using a sticker, you kind of leave it on all day.
Leave it, forget it. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing to note is that this microneedle has been loaded with 3% salicylic acid and 2% asiatic acid.
That's a really
random number.
Weird percentage. So salicylic acid you'll usually see used between 0.5 to 2%. That's because that's an OTC designated acne level. Because the microneedle patch is a different delivery mechanism, I can see them straying away from that range, but 3% still seems a little random.
Yeah.
2% AZ aticoside also feels really random. Our Aquafix uses 0.5% blend of, well, the combined total is 0.5% of madecassoside, AZ aticoside, and that's the soothing active component from Centella. And we can tell you from literature, 0.5 is already a lot. So 2% for me sounds like
they're really trying to
pummel it into skin. Yeah.
For sure. So, Gloria, would you like to share the results with everybody?
Yeah. So these patches show, in their words, show good efficacy, including improvement of skin pigmentation and reduced acne volume.
Mm-hmm.
Acne volume was reduced by 12.34% after 3 days of patch use, and further reduced by another 10.01% after 7 continuous days of use. And this test was for 28 days. So after 28 days of treatment, skin melanin decreased by 5.88%. And heme, I'm guessing like the redness count, decreased by 7.83%. Wow.
Yeah. So you hear these decreases.
You're like, decrease, awesome.
Yeah, no semblance of significant. I didn't hear significant. But then you also think about these numbers and you're like, I get a skin melanin decrease of 6% after 28 days of stickering my face. This is not worth it.
Yeah. I saw a number and I was like, oh, that's terrible. So first of all, I think for acne individuals, if you're saying volume reduced by 12% after 3 days, I would feel already mildly irritated. You should feel like, I feel like people use these type of patches will want it to feel like it's well on its way out after 3 days. So 12.34 is already like, wait, that's like, it's like if your acne is yay big, it's going down by yay big. It's like doesn't feel very gratifying. And 28 days melanin reduction. Note that this is done on 30 individuals. I'm assuming they're taking the average here, but data increase on a scale, on a spread. So you're telling me that if the average like melanin reduction is 5.88%, that means it's very likely some people are getting a 2% decrease.
Yeah, like barely any improvement.
Yeah.
So I think the takeaway here, and we should also mention, is microneedle integrity is very source dependent, very manufacturing dependent.
Yes.
So there is that aspect too. And so we should also mention that there are probably, if a brand out there has the right clinical data to say that there's more effective, can be worth a shot.
For sure.
Looking at this, I think it's fair to also be in the camp of you don't need necessarily microneedling if you want to use these kinds of stickers. Just find like a really good hydrocolloid patch you like applying that stays on, because not every patch stays on that well for me. And that's really it.
Yeah. I honestly, given the actives, it's just I agree. And to me, I am almost suspicious of the quality of the needles. A lot of times, like we've seen, a lot of times it doesn't penetrate as well as people think. So with this active profile, the acne portion itself should actually be at least turning over.
Yeah.
I will say on the flip side of all of this, the melanin decrease isn't that surprising to me. So maybe it helped a little bit with healing process, but nothing in this patch to me sounds like it should be actively preventing melanin production. So I don't know. This is a weird one.
Generally weird one. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for microneedle patches, what you can expect and maybe what to look for. A last one that we'll talk about really briefly is the PanOxyl 10% BPO cleanser. This one has actually been around for a while.
A long time, yeah.
Has its resurgence from TikTok. I think there's just a lot of content on it. But yeah, honestly, we can go through the IL. It's not super informative, but it's really just to say it's, 10% BPO in a gentle cleanser.
Yeah.
But I think the important thing here is that the instructions are very important and that they recommend that you cleanse for 1 to 2 minutes on skin, which is quite long.
Oh yeah, we've done this before when we first formulated our blank slate cleanser. We wanted to, when the two of us are testing, we want to make sure that it's like more standardized. So we timed ourselves and we try lathering for like 30 seconds a minute. It feels like a lifetime.
Yes, exactly. So I think for us, if you're wondering what is that magical ingredient in this cleanser, I believe as an acne individual and a person in this industry that it's because you're not putting on like 10% BPO leave-on.
Yeah.
It's because you're getting just enough BPO to be helpful, but not irritating and annoying to deal with.
That's true.
And if you're wondering like, hey, but you guys say that actives in cleansers are not helpful. Well, acne is the one area that there is some data to show that in cleanser format, it can be helpful to an acne routine. And I think that's the same case for this cleanser.
Yeah, of course. And this is also why they stress you need to let it stay in contact with skin for at least a certain amount of time. If I'm not cognizant of it and I'm just washing my face per my usual style, I'm probably lathering for like 15 seconds tops. Yeah,
exactly.
So yeah, contact time does matter in general. And like Victoria said, these are very specific use cases that's tested. None of the other crap is tested. Just say. And I bet if you tested a 10% BPO wash off versus a 10% leave on, the type of result and the type of side effects you get are also 100% different. So
yes,
yeah.
Totally. So this is a helpful format for those who feel like they can't fit BPO anywhere, or maybe skin is just not really reacting well to it. This could be one to give a shot. Worth a shot for you. But otherwise, hopefully that is helpful in navigating some of these like trendy acne products out there.
Cool.
All right.
Let's wrap this up with some Q&A.
All right, let's do it, Gloria.
Cool.
Right.
Number 1.
Yeah. First question's from Lawrence's Morissette. I use 0.05% tretinoin, and I handle it without a problem. Should I increase the percentage? Can you put it on your body?
Great questions. We would say that if you're with retinoids in general, you don't necessarily always have to punch up higher and higher and higher. It can really depend on your skin goals. If you're handling okay, and if you're using it for acne, are you happy with the progress it's making in acne? And how long have you been on it?
I feel like you're everyone's skin therapist right now. How does it make you feel?
Yeah.
How does it make your acne feel?
Yeah. And also, how long have you been on 0.05, right? Like if you're on 0.05 for 3 weeks and it's like you're tolerating it well, just give it some time, see how the efficacy translates over time. If you've been on it for half a year and you're generally happy with your results and your skin status quo, I still don't see a big reason to kick up the percentage. You don't always have to go for more. But if you feel like, okay, my breakouts are under control, but I think I want to be a little better, or you're like, I think my acne is under control, but I really want to see more anti-aging benefits, you can always talk to your doctor about giving you a higher dose prescription and try to bump up. So that's my take on the percentage part. Body, Victoria, can you put it on your body?
Well, I was going to add, I think I really liked what you said in that for some reason, there is something that's like placed in our minds that we need to get that golden number of 0.1% tretinoin to get all the benefits. And I just don't believe that's how we should think, right? The idea is that, it's not about that you have a next level you need to get to. It's about how your skin is like, are you good with the results? It's only when you feel like skin is looking more dull, more pigmentation, more wrinkles, then I feel like that's the time to be like, okay, let's analyze. So hopefully that's not this person. I don't believe that, but yeah. And for body, what part of the body?
That's a great question.
What are you trying to target? Also, I thought tretinoin's really expensive. So on full body, that seems expensive.
Yeah.
But I think it's more like, what's the goal? I can definitely see like maybe for neck and chest.
Yeah.
But holy cow, I hope you sunscreen that area.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't necessarily believe, I don't know. When we looked at like truncal acne and whatnot, we did see that these tretinoin can be helpful. But I think it's just important to have a quick like initial conversation with your derm before doing that. But otherwise, I'm more cost-wise, I kind of have a concern there.
Yeah, I actually haven't looked into tretinoin being used in other body parts as much, but I think I once did a search on retinol. And retinol, because it's an anti-aging classic, they've tested on like everything they can test on. Like you've seen it tested for like stretch marks, like other area wrinkles and things like that. And same thing as face. Just proceed with caution in terms of irritation, manage expectations, and I will have you guys know while we are formulating double play, because we get a lot of samples with different iterations. For ones that, like that we didn't quite fit the bill, that we punted, I don't know what to do with the extra ones. I put it on my butt. So was I expecting anything magical? Not really, but it was kind of like, if it helps with firming.
One butt cheek look better than the other?
I mean, I don't know if I can talk about it on this podcast, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. All right. Next question. This is from Adrian Melanie. Microcurrent devices, do they work? Red light devices. All right. We're just shouting devices.
In general.
Yeah.
Yes and no. Okay. We recently spoke with someone about this. The general takeaway from these devices in general is their in-office counterparts will always be more powerful. At home, you can get a certain level of efficacy. It's wildly dependent on the actual device's quality, which sometimes it's hard to tell just based on, say, price point branding alone. Like, we try to pay attention to the company's clinicals, data. And last but not least, it's really dependent on yourself, whether or not you're consistent with it.
Yeah.
We were gifted the Solar Wave recently, and I gave it an honest effort, and I think I really enjoy it for like smaller, precise areas. It feels like a nice me time. I do have a hard time working it into my routine very consistently, even though their consumer perception tests use it daily, and they ask you to at least use it every other day, basically. I have a hard time sticking with it, and just know that you need that level of consistency to really see it work.
Yeah, and we usually say diligence for 2 months. And then evaluate if that's giving you
what you're looking for.
Yeah, the results you want. So, yeah. And I think sometimes Gloria and I lament about the device category and that, like, the price point is so wild. It feels sometimes like a worse version of skincare topicals. Like before, we would talk about how, like, oh, like you used to feel like you need to buy an insurance policy, like pay a certain amount to get a result. I've never felt that more with devices as well. Especially because you can find like a $10 version on Amazon and you're like, there's no way. There's no way, right? Yeah. So I think that's the other really difficult part about this category. But yeah, if you're one that's like really good about your skincare routine and also knows how to prioritize your me time, this might actually be perfect for you.
Yeah. For me, I have learned that I'm not methodical in the way I'm.
Oh, yeah. Tell them about the Solar Wave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because, you know, in the actual consumer perception, they recommend you making sure that you touch an area for at least 3 minutes and use it on a whole face for like 30 minutes.
Does it tell you when to like move to the next section?
No.
Okay.
So you're just like,
because the new face was good about that. Yeah, do you remember? Like it would beep and then be like, all right, I gotta move.
Yeah. So Solar Wave, at least like, I don't know if they have different versions. The one I got, you just turn it on and you just so you yourself have to be disciplined, and you're not using it because it's a handheld device. You're not staring into the abyss during the sun. You're probably watching TV, and I lose track and got to a point where my man, if it worked really well, I'm gonna be so lopsided in a month because there's always one side that got a lot more zapped than the other side. So I'm kind of like,
yep, that's fair. All right, let's wrap up with one final question. This is from Delia Adams 814. She asks, how do I fade my freckles?
I have a lot of freckles.
I like your freckles.
You live with it. Well, okay. First things first, sun protection. Like it's all in the sun. Like it doesn't matter the season.
Yeah.
I will notice my freckles pop a little bit if I get a lot more sun. And I don't know the level of freckles you have. Freckles, first of all, freckles are in. People have tutorials on how to draw fake freckles.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, and so just embrace it. And if it's a lot, my mom, I got my freckles from my mom. My mom she had a lot more freckles than me, and she hated it because as she got older, she felt like they're starting to look less like freckles, more like age spots as they develop.
Melasma. Yeah.
You can get that lasered off in the office if you want it, because there's nothing you can, because it's genetic, right? There's nothing topically you can use to make it completely go away.
Yes.
It's just stuff to manage it so it doesn't get more pronounced, but that's it.
I think definitely, like, as you know, I imagine when I'm like 50, 60, I will be entertaining a laser procedure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right. So we've reached the end of our episode. All right, Gloria, where can they find us?
Find us on our website at chemistconfessions.com. Don't forget to subscribe there so you'll be the first to know when our holiday kits are out.
Hell yeah.
You can write to us at info@chemistconfessions.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at chemist.confessions. And that's it for this episode. You can also comment. I forgot the last one. You can also comment directly on this video, but we will see you all next week.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.